So son, job loss, it's become a harsh reality for many, and knowing how to financially prepare for a career transition can make all the difference. Money coach and author Anna Palomino is here, and she's going to help us stay grounded and plan smartly when we're starting over. Right, Anna?
That's right. I'm hoping to be just a breath of fresh air for those people today.
Oh my gosh, they need it. Job losses happening more and more, and unexpectedly. I mean, Spirit Airlines just said can't do anymore, and that's thousands of people without a job. Is there ever really a good time to be prepared for job loss, or are most people always caught off guard?
I think most people are always caught off guard, which is unfortunate. I believe we should always try to be focused on preparing for the next thing, which, I mean, it sounds kind of bad because you're always looking at the next thing, but you never know what can happen. And Spirit Airlines, that's a prime example of what the reality can be. So just always make sure that you're not caught on the outside.
All right, so somebody calls you, Anna, oh my God, they just gave me, when you get a pink slip, whatever color the slip is, I'm out of a job. What's the very first thing that you tell them? It
can be a blessing. It can be such a massive blessing. So you get fired, fine. Next thing you need to do is you start looking at your actual skills and talents, because so many of us have talents that we're not monetizing. We don't even know that we have the talent because we haven't spent the time to actually look inside and say, this is something that I'm good at. And guess what? People pay you for what you're good at.
True.
People pay you even more for what you're great at.
True.
So you getting fired from your job may be the blessing that you needed.
All right. So you recommend saving 6 to 12 months of living expenses before making a career switch. You're building a Jamaica, a safety net. But people in Jamaica, household them has 6 to 12 months. How do you even begin to build that?
Do you want to be a great entrepreneur or what? That's what you're just going to have to ask yourself. The thing about it is that many people just think, oh, I'm going to quit my job today, start a business tomorrow, and it's going to be great. But that's not how businesses work. What tends to happen is the business may bring in some revenue, but because you are now the one that the business has to take care of, you are stifling the business. It can't grow because it has to take care of you. So what I always tell my clients, listen, what you do is if you intend to start this business, you start it while you are employed, and you save, you put away cash in your career transition fund for like the next 6 months or so. I usually say about 18 weeks because that is, at that point you can say, all right, the business does have more than potential. It is now viable. It is something I can actually leave my job for and I can pour into this. So for you to be able to do that, you need to have your career transition fund and you need to have some sort of evidence that the business can actually work, which takes time.
All right. Automating savings, it sounds great in theory. Tax refunds going straight into a separate account, but what if there are no bonuses? What's the strategy for someone living close to the edge? I mean, you already started alluding to not mixing up the business with the personal. Yeah, what is it that they have to do?
Well, I don't think people are going to like this, but it's just the truth, which is that if you want to start your career transition fund and you don't have your bonus or anything coming in, you need to start looking at your actual day-to-day expenses. Because again, you know, people call me the magician because when I look at your expenses, I find money that you thought wasn't there before. And it's because I'm not married to your life. I'm not married to your situation. So I can clearly see what you do not need. So what you don't need,
some of them subscriptions.
Drop it. Like yesterday, and you'll see how much money you can find to put towards this fund that you want. You're gonna have to make tough decisions in this life, you know. So this is just one of them.
That sounds like some of them going out money. Yeah, somebody going out. The morning on the shoes. Oh Lord, have mercy. Well, we mentioned that, but what are some of the spending habits you see most often that quietly drain people's transition fund before they even realize it? The shoes.
Not really shoes, you know. A lot of people think are probably shoes, but the day-to-day things like you buy the box food where you normally buy, you up it from 2 pieces of meat to 3 pieces of meat. And you know that money that gone up, that's one thing. Next thing, you go juicy every morning. I buy cocoa bread and how many corn porridge. It's the small things that add up so much. And because they're small in your mind, you're not calculating it to say, this is something so massive, it's going to make a dent. But in my experience, that's what I see. The girls' night out, something them, Friday, we need a girls' night out. Do you? When you can't drink water in your yard? Like, what's going on? You have to decide.
That's a girls' night in, though.
So something's wrong with girls' night in? Do you want to be a great entrepreneur or what? Do you want to have security or what? You're going to have to make sacrifices in the short term. Breathe.
What if every girls' night then bring a contribution to the fund?
To your fund?
Yeah.
Give me some of your friends, now. I would love your friends.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we have to tighten the budget. And you're saying use what you have. A lot of people don't think to maximize their employer benefits before they leave. Things like pension contributions on the full... What? What are people commonly leaving on the table?
All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to give you the sauce, the secret sauce. This is why I said you can't just get up and quit your job because you want to start a business. You have to plan this months in the back. So for example, you want to make sure you look at your insurance, right? It's going to be a lot more difficult for you to get insurance if you're newly self-employed.
Correct.
So you lock down all of that before you leave. The employee benefits, like your pension, you're gonna max it out, max. You can do 20% between you and your employer, so you make sure you max that. The thing about it is just planning, right? All of them, some business places give you certain benefits, and you just leave it on the table.
You think it's just simple?
Nobody lift it. You need to lock down everything.
High interest debt. Is that trap? Is that job, Anna, when you're doing a career switch, should someone focus on paying that down before building their savings or try to do both at once?
It depends. So what I always say is, for example, if it's credit card, because that's considered high interest debt, if you don't pay off your credit card balance, it's going to accrue a lot of interest and it keeps rolling. That's why I see it as the biggest trap. So if you do have credit card debt, then you need to prioritize that immediately.
Clear it.
Immediately. But for example, let's say you have an unsecured loan with high interest, a high interest rate, because it's already fixed. I mean, you can prioritize saving for emergency fund and then you can focus on that. Not to say that that particular high interest debt is any better. It's horrible. But we have to be practical here. Are you going to choose between literally living on the edge and not having anything to your name just so that you can get rid of that debt? Or are you going to try to have something to cushion you in case you fall and then you can focus on that?
You need to have a cushion. All right, so people often forget to budget for the cost of switching. Certification, new equipment, networking events. Last question, how much should someone realistically set aside?
It depends on the business that you have. It depends on the business you're going to start. It depends on where you're located. For example, if you're in Kingston and you're an attorney and you're starting a law firm, you know that you're probably going to go to galas, you're going to go to members-only bars and stuff like that, depending on what your business is about.
Networking has to happen.
Right. So it depends on where you live and what you're going to do. But here's what I would say, Delia. When I was switching, I was broke, okay? So I would have some strategies like, I'm just going to drink white rum and water because, white rum's cheap, very cheap. And nobody's going to be like, oh, why is your hand empty? So I just do the white rum and water. Or, you can do club soda or something. So you devise your own strategies in order to match the budget that you have. You don't have to do it in the reverse.
Don't have to go and say, oh, everybody is drinking the top shelf.
Hennessy.
I have to drink the top shelf too. What's in your cup stays in your cup. Anna, always great to talk to. You can find her online. Tell them where to find you.
Anna the Money Coach. And use Quarter, my app that can get your financial life in order. Okay?
She's serious about the money. She's serious about the money. You need to be serious about it too. Money coach and author Anna Palomino. Up next, the second edition of News is here. Stay with us.